welcome to 10.5 Volume of Pyramids. Today our learning target is to find the volume of a pyramid, and our success criteria is going to be measured by our ability to use a formula to find the volume of a pyramid and use the volume of a pyramid to solve a real life problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into the key idea. So our key idea is that when we're finding the volume of a pyramid, the volume V of a pyramid is 1/3, my pen out, 1/3 the product of the area of the base times the height of the pyramid. So same thing, but as when we were dealing with volume of prisms, where we're going to do the area of the base times the height, except for this time, we're going to multiply it by 1/3, because when we look at it, a pyramid is 1/3 of the size of a rectangle. If you come back up and you look up here, okay, you can kind of see that a pyramid is 1/3 of the size, okay? We have the base, and then we have 3 of them, and that's the same. You look right here, like one of these is the base, and then you have 3 that make up the sides, and that's going to be the same dimensions as that rectangular prism. So a pyramid is 1/3 of a rectangular prism with the same sides. So that's kind of why we multiply it by 1/3. Okay, so let's look at example 1. And in example 1, it says find the volume of the pyramid when we know that the base, the area of the base, and this is a what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do you call a six-sided shape, Morgan? A hexagon. I couldn't think of the name. My 10-year-old had to save me. A hexagon. This is a hexagonal pyramid, okay? It's got a hexagon for a base. So they tell us here that we have a base of an area of the base of 48 meters. I'm pointing to it like you guys can see it, okay? And we have a slant height of 9 meters. So we're going to use our formula for volume right here, and we're going to say 1/3 area of the base, which is 48, times the height, slant height, which is 9. Okay, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say 1/3 of 9 because we're multiplying. Multiplying is of. 1/3 of 9 is 3. So I'm going to say 3 times 48. And that's going to give me 144 millimeters. We're dealing with volume, so our answer is cubed. Volume is always cubed, okay? We talked about this yesterday when we were finding the volume of prisms, and it's the same thing when we're finding the volume of pyramids. Volume is cubic, okay, because you're multiplying 3 different things together. You're multiplying the length times the width times the height, and the length times the width is where we get that area of the base, okay, kind of thing. So now I want you to use this formula, and I want you to do the try-its for 1 and 2. I'm going to erase, and then we'll come back and we'll solve them together. Hopefully you pause and solve them on your own, or at least try to, and then come back. So in try-it number 1, we have 1/3, V is equal to 1/3. The area of the base here is 21, and we have a height of 6. I can look at this multiple different ways. 1/3 of 21 is going to be 7. So then I have 7 times 6, which is 42. I can look at 1/3 of 6 is 2 times 21, still 42. So on this, what is that? 1, 2. So that's a pentagonal pyramid. So for the pentagonal pyramid, our volume is 42 feet cubed, or 42 cubic feet, however you want to say that. Okay? And all I did was 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. Okay? Let's look at try-it number 2. On try-it number 2, we look like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. I'm going to say an octagonal pyramid. I think it's octagonal. Okay? We're still using that same formula. 1/3, okay? The area of the base, which here is 174, times the height, which is 5. This is one where I am going to go ahead and break my calculator out on. And I'm going to enter this into my calculator. Remember that 1/3 is nothing but a division problem. A fraction is a division problem. So I'm going to enter it into my calculator as parentheses 1 divided by 3, close parentheses, and then 174, and then 5. And my calculator gives me 290 centimeters cubed. Okay? So on that one, I just did the calculator, and I could have solved that a number of different ways. I plugged it into the calculator. I could have done 174 divided by 3, which is 58, and then multiplied that by 5. It's still 290. Remember that when you're dealing with fractions, when you're dealing with 1/3 of something, 1/2 of something, 1/5 of something, 1/8 of something, you have a whole pie, and it's divided into, let's say 1/3. It's kind of divided into 3 pieces. I don't know what I'm doing there. It's divided into 3 pieces that are the same size, and you're looking at one of those pieces. So this whole thing here would be worth 174. Each one of them would be worth 58, because 58 plus 58 plus 58 equals 174. And I'm just looking at the piece that I have. So I just have, say, this piece right here. And so 1/3 of 174 is 58. Okay? All right. Let's move on then to example 2, finding the volume of a pyramid when they don't actually give us the area of the base. Remember, the area of a base of a rectangular pyramid is the product of the length and the width, okay? So for this one, so this is a rectangular pyramid. That means the base of it is a rectangle. So to find the base time on this one, we do length times width. And then we have the pyramid kind of coming up off of it, okay? And so for that, then we're going to calculate our height here, our kind of diagonal height, okay? So we can say the volume here is still going to be that 1/3, but then length times width times height. And we're using length times width instead of area of the base, even though they're the exact same thing. Area of the base is length times width, okay? In this case, they're not giving me the area of the base always, so I have to find it by multiplying the length times the width. That's all we're going to do different in example 2A. Okay? So let's go ahead and look at that. Example 2A. They give us the pyramid right here. So volume equals 1/3, the 3 for the length, 4 for the width, and 7 for the height. Okay? 1/3 times 3 is 1, times 4 times 7 is 28. Okay? So this one right here is going to be 28 feet cubed. That's our volume for that one. And all I did was that same formula. It's still 1/3 area of the base times height, but just instead of using area of the base, we used length times width. That's the only change that occurred there, okay? All right, let me erase all of this. I missed my smartboard at school, being able to just scroll down. All right. So for B, okay, B can kind of be confusing because it's got a triangular base, okay? If you look at it, it's got a triangular base right here. So instead of using length times width, we have to do half, 1/2 the length times the width. Because remember, a triangle is half of a rectangle. It's worth this half right here. So the formula for area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. We say base times height when triangles because they don't necessarily have a length and a width, but they have a base and they have a height, okay? So we're still going to use that same volume formula, 1/3 area of the base, just this time area of the base is 1/2 the length of the base times the height. So let's come back over here and let's look at this triangle. Let me delete this. Our base on this triangle is the 17.5, okay? So we've got the 1/2 from here. Our base is the 17.5 right here. And our height of the base triangle is this 6 right here. Okay? And then the height of the pyramid itself is this piece right here, and that's the 10. Okay? So that's where all of these numbers come in. Now I'm going to use the commutative property, and I'm going to kind of move some things around just because I know that it's going to be a little bit easier, maybe, to work it out in my head if I did 1/3 of 6 times 1/2 times, let's see, let's work that part out first. Let me work that part out first. Okay, so 1/3 of 6 is 2. So then I have 2 times 1/2, which is going to be 1. Okay, I'm just kind of working it out here. 1. So then I have 1 times 17.5 times 10. 17.5 times 10 is 175. So for this one right here, the volume of that triangular pyramid is 175 meters cubed. Okay, and I know that one was a little confusing when we look at it over here because we have 2 different heights and we have 2 different, we have a different base and we have to find the area of the base. And remember, the area of the base in this case is 1/2 base times height. And then we have to plug it all in. So that one can be a little bit confusing, but you just still follow the formula. This formula right here is still 1/3 area of the base times height. Okay? All right. Let me erase all of this. I've got like multiple things going on here. And delete these boxes that free-formed. And we'll look at triad number 3. Triad number 3 is a nice rectangular pyramid. So we're going to do the same thing. Volume equals 1/3 area of the base times height. So 1/3. In this case, our base is 10 times 8. Okay? And our height is 7. Okay? So 10 times, let's see, 7 times 8 is 56. 56 times 10 is 560. And we want 1/3 of 560. So basically, I'm going to take 560 and I'm going to divide it by 3. 3 can go into 5 once. It can go into 16 5 times. It can go into 10 3 times. And I end up with 153 and 1/3, or 153.3 repeating. And I think I did some math wrong. Let me check. Somewhere I did something wrong. 10 times 8 is 80. 80 times 7 is 560. Divided by 3 is 186. How did I do that wrong? Oh, guys, duh. Woohoo, right here. 5 minus 3 is 26. That makes a big difference. This is why I need to be in class. I try to do math too fast, and you guys usually catch me in class. Okay. So 26. 3 can go into 26 8 times. That's 24, leaving me with 20. 3 can go into 20, 6 times? And that's 18, leaving me with 2/3. So the volume on this one is 186 and 2/3 inches cubed. See, my math was just basic math, okay? So again, same thing. These two multiplied together equal the area of the base, okay? Let's erase. And we'll do triad number 4. Right here. So today I had an 8th grader ask me for help. They told me like they weren't understanding anything and they really needed help on the math. And I said, well, I'm really sorry to hear that you're like not understanding anything. Have you been watching the YouTube videos that I'm posting? Have you been watching the videos? Are the videos helping? And the 8th grader goes, you post YouTube videos for our math? Guys, I literally about died laughing. I was laughing. I was crying so hard because I know that you guys aren't watching my videos, because I go and I look at my YouTube studio and I see that videos only have like 1 or 3 views. And I have people like, I don't understand how to do this. I'm like, well, did you watch the video? What video? I literally died because I was like, oh my goodness, I attached the video to every homework assignment in Google Classroom. Please go watch the videos. So anyway, all that leads to is today's keyword for 10.5 is going to be pink panda. So if you need if I ask you if you watch the video and I ask you for the keyword for 10.5, the keyword for 10.5 is pink panda. So yeah, I gotta write these keywords down because otherwise I'm never gonna forget them. So
you're never gonna remember them, not never gonna forget them.
Oh yeah, Morgan's correcting me. She says I'm never. Yeah. All right, 10.5. I'm writing your words down, and then I'll do 4. Okay, had to write our keywords down. All right, let's look at try it 4. We have a triangle for this one. We're gonna follow the same formula. The formula is still gonna be 1/3 area of the base times height. Just in this case, instead of area of the base, we're gonna do 1/2 base times height of the triangular bottom, okay? Of the triangular base. So we're going to have volume equals 1/3 times 1/2. The base here is 7. The height of the triangular base is 18. And then the height of the pyramid is 11. Okay? Okay? So let's look at ways I can make this. What can I divide by 3? What's divisible by 3? Well, 18 is divisible by 3, and that's 6. So then I have 6 times 1/2 times 7 times 11. 6 times 1/2 is 3. So 3 times 7 times 11. 7 times 11 is 77. And 77 times 3, I'm just going to use the calculator, is going to be 231. 231 centimeters cubed. And that answer is correct. Okay? And you see how I just kind of took it step by step. I didn't try to do 1/3 times 1/2. Okay? I looked at which numbers can I divide by 3. Which one of these is a factor or a multiple of 3. Because I know that my 3rd fraction is a lot harder to deal with than my 1/2 fraction. So I started with that. And then I got 6 times 1/2 because 1/3 of 18 is 6. 6 times 1/2 is 3. And then I just did 3 times 7 times 11. And I could have done those in any order. I could have done 3 times 11, which is 33, and then done that times 7. I could have done 3 times 7, which is 21, and then done 21 times 11. That order doesn't matter. Okay? Actually, the order on none of it matters because it's multiplication, and with multiplication, the commutative property tells us that we can rearrange them and multiply in any order, and order doesn't matter. Okay, example 3, modeling real life. It says that the diagram shows the proportion, not proportion, just portion. The diagram shows the portion of a rectangular pyramid that is removed to make a sunscreen bottle. The portion that is removed is also a rectangular pyramid. Find the unit cost of sunscreen. Okay, so they tell us how big this entire bottle is, and then they tell us how much the portion they remove is, and then they tell us how much the sunscreen costs. And all of that information is found right here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to find the volume of the original, and then we're going to find the volume of the smaller one, and then we're going to subtract that, and then we're going to find out how much it costs per unit, per inch, okay? We're going to be dealing with inches. So we're going to find out how much it costs per inch of sunscreen, okay? So that's our plan. 1, find OG pyramid. 2, find small pyramid. Then we're going to subtract them, and then we're going to find our unit rate. Okay? So let's look at our original pyramid. Our original pyramid has a volume of 1/3 the area of the base times the height. So 1/3. They don't tell me my area of the base, so I'm going to have to calculate it. It's a rectangle. Let's start out with a triangle. So I'm going to do area of the base is 2 times 1, and then times the height, which is 6. Okay? Again, looking at this, I'm going to say 3 goes into 6 twice. So I have 2 times 2 times 1, so essentially 2 times 2. So the original is 4. Okay? I'm going to put that right there. And then I'm going to find the volume of my smaller pyramid, which is up here at the top, right there. 1/3 area of the base times height, 1/3 0.5, which is a half, times 0.25, which is essentially a quarter, times the height, which is 1.5. Okay? And let's see. I am just going to plug that all into my calculator because it makes life a little bit easier. So 1 divided by 3 times 0.5 times 0.25 times 1.5 is 0.0625. Okay? 0.0625. I'm going to subtract them. Remember, subtract them. Okay? So 4 minus that, so the big one minus the little one, okay, gives me 3.9375. So this 3.9375, that's how many cubic inches of sunscreen can be found in the bottle. Okay, so I'm going to kind of move my paper down here a little bit. So we have 3.9375, and what we need to do is we need to figure out how much we're paying per unit. So we want to know the cost per unit, and I think of that per sign right there as a division symbol. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the cost, which is that $9.96, the cost of the sunscreen, per, and the units, which is 3.9375. And remember, I said I think of this as a division symbol. So basically, I'm going to do 9.96 divided by 3.9375. And I get 2.53. It's money. We're looking at a cost per unit. So I'm rounding it to the hundredths place. So it's 2.53. It's actually 2.5295, but I'm going to round it to $2.53. So that means for every cubic inch of sunscreen that is in this bottle that holds 3.9375 cubic inches of sunscreen, for every 1 cubic inch, you are going to pay $2.53. Okay? And that's that. So I hope all that made sense. I'm trying to slow down a little bit in my videos. I realized that I'm talking and solving them really fast because I don't have anybody here like giving me blank stares or looking at me or asking questions, and I talk fast anyway. So I'm trying to slow down a little bit. Don't know if it's working. Okay? If you guys have any questions, feel free to send me an email or give me a call. And remember the keyword, the code word for this video. All right, you guys have a great day. See you soon.